Oh, did I hit the bright? I forget if I hit the bright or not, and I forgot my lipstick. Now it's just chapstick. Hello. Hello, everyone. I'll put some chapstick on. Hi, it's not chapstick, but it's like chapstick. Hello. Let's get up close and personal. I have my sewing machine right here. I've been working on snippet rolls. So I know that a lot of you have asked me, a lot of you have asked me about how to make a snippet roll or what a snippet roll is. And we've done, there's all kinds of snippet things you can do. But when I very first learned about a snippet roll, it was from Michelle at the Vintage Daisy. And I just called her on Messenger to make sure she was okay that I shared how to do it with you guys, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Michelle is my creative friend, and probably the most like me, as far as all vintage stuff goes. She's a little more journally, but she does like all sorts of other things as well. So we're probably the most alike. We were talking about, oh, hi, Michelle. Hey, we were just talking, how she does all her page hops, and I never got to hop with her. And we were talking about it, and she didn't think she was going to do anymore. And I'm like, I never got to hop with you. And she's like, yes, you did. You were like my very first hopper. I'm like, no, I didn't. And she just sent me a screenshot. I did hop with Michelle. I didn't even remember it. So anyway, all right, I'm not going to embellish this. So I guess I was a hopper and didn't know it. Oh my gosh. That was so last year, right? Who can remember last year? So, okay, this is what I'm making tonight. I can go into detail and all that about all of the different snippet things that I have learned, like on this is Michelle laughing on YouTube, and from Michelle are probably my most snippety people. And anyway, absolutely fell in love with it. I had to get my sewing machine out, which I absolutely was like scared of. And I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I've been always very intimidated by this machine. And who was it? Linda Glenham, one of our followers here, talked me through like how to do the bobbin and all that stuff. And I'm praying. I don't know how to open it up and see if I'm low, and I don't want to mess anything up. So if I run out of bobbin, I'm stopping. Yes, snippety, snip, snip, get on with it, right? But anyway, so just know I'm like a little nervousy. I'm no sewer. I can't sew a straight line. See? I don't sew a straight line, and you don't have to. So, yes, I know. If it weren't for you, this machine would still be sitting over there rusting. But I got one. So anyway, but yes, then my bobbin bogged down, and Linda sent me, she's like, what kind do you have? And so she sent me a tutorial that finally made sense to me. I had looked at several, but I still couldn't figure it out. And she sent one that was like, oh, and so now I can do that. I've broken a needle and I replaced that. What else have I rethreaded my machine and changed colors? I was kind of bonding with my machine, actually. So I've actually even hemmed a pair of pants. I shortened one of my husband's shirts so he didn't have to tuck so much in. I'm no seamstress, but I'm not scared anymore. So, okay, a snippet roll. This is a strip of a snippet roll. Now, a snippet roll can be, however long you need it to be. And I have found that once you get it made, like if you want to go across the top of a little book, okay, and you only need this much, just cut it off and you still have all of the rest. You can just use, and let's say that you have 3 or 4 pieces because you've made several and you have these little pieces, you can just stick them together on your project. You never know where one started and stopped and the other one started. So this is I left a loop. So this is a snippet roll. This is all of those little fabric scraps. When you see me not put them in the trash can, I lay them over on my table, just the tiniest little pieces. This is what it used to be, what I would throw away. And now I do this with it, okay? And then we have done tons of projects with our snippet roll. Is that too long? That's a little long. We'll save this and stick it on this one. I've done tons of projects with the snippet rolls. One of the biggest ones I did is that lampshade right there is wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped with snippet rolls. Let's see. I know I can zoom in. Let me, oh golly, not my age spots. There you go. See, it's all snippet rolls, round and round and round. So that was the very first thing I came up with. And then we did them on books. And oh gosh, I'm such a mess. Just got out of the hot tub. Yes, just in time, Jeannie. Okay, so to answer all of your questions, to watch a professional do it, you need to go to Michelle at the Vintage Daisy. She will show you how to do it the correct way. I'm going to show you how to do it the Tammy way. It's fine. It's not as good as hers, but it's fine. They're fine. And I honestly, I watched her do it, and then I didn't go back like for all the details. I just started whipping one out. So, okay, got my foot down. So let me take this stuff off. So I just start with a piece of fabric. It's thicker. It's thicker than, hi Brenda. It's thicker than a, muslin for sure. Any fabric would work. I wouldn't think you would want it too thick because it might raise up your project a little bit. And then you just start laying down scraps. So like here's a scrap piece. See that? So I'm going to lay it there. And then I have this piece of ribbon that I just pulled off. So I'm going to lay it there. Make sure you guys can see. I tried to lower my phone as much as possible. And then I don't want to hit that button, but that'll be nice. So anyway, I'm just gonna start running. Make sure it's all underneath. Okay, and then I need to go over top of this button. Okay, and then I have some of this, let's see, let's do this piece to graduate over. Okay, and then because it's kind of bright, I'm gonna add this piece on top, and then I have this hairy piece of cheesecloth, so that'll be a great texture. So let's do that. Okay, oops, I'm caught on the toe there, or the foot, whatever it is. It's a foot, not a toe. It's a foot. I know that, dummy. Okay. And I just do one straight line. Like you can go all over the place and do it however you want, but I just do a straight line. Okay, so here's this piece. So I'm just kind of going to gather it a little bit. Okay, and then here's a little strip of pearls. I might be able to get on there. I don't know. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it hit. Okay, and then this one's different. So let's do it. I'm going to bunch it up just so it's a little floppity. And then here's this one. Here's this little piece. So I went ahead and cut some stuff so it didn't take me quite as long for you guys. Here's a couple pieces of muslin shred, and here's a little piece of, well, let's just do this muslin shred first. And then here's a piece of, okay, I'm going to lift it up because there's a little bit, I can see a little bit of that background showing. This is a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it off, and I'll use this in another spot. Here's a little strip of that, and you just keep feeding it through like this. So, I mean, you just literally are using snips and scraps. Here's a little, let's fold this in half and sew it down. And then I'm going to cut the loop. That was what I was doing on that other one. And then here's a nice piece, and I'm just going to gather it so that it fluffs up, and I'm going to stick it in here. Michelle, are you still here? Is this how you do it? You love it? Good. Doing is the, yes. I love the itty bitties. It's my absolute favorite thing that I do. Oh, they're perfect. So is this how you do it, Michelle? I just checked out a couple of your comments there. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Michelle's like the king of this to me in my world. She's the one I look up to. Let's see. Here's another nice little piece of something. Sew that down, and then, oh, that's kind of big. And I flipped it over because it's a little bit sticky. I have used spray adhesive, that's Super 77 on this. But it's fine. It's not too sticky. But I can feel the stick. So I wanted the sticky part to be down. Here's another scraplet. And if you don't have scraplets, what I was doing before we came live, I sat here and just cut pieces so that I would have some scraplets. let's stick another dark piece in there, maybe at the end. Okay. Let's see, I need something different. Here we go. This is different. So then the other thing that I was doing earlier, just to save myself a little bit of time, I was laying all of the bulk over to the side. Okay. So I was just taking it off a little bit off the side. And listen, you guys can make these as thick as you want. And then I was leaving this all hang over here and then was just cutting it off. Oop, get that in there. Get in there. I just cut it off when I was all done. So let's do a little bit of that too, so you guys can see. I'm going to add that under there. Okay. Oop, I need to back it up a little bit. I blinked. Don't blink. We'll mess up. Okay. So this is what I've been doing since we went live earlier, is just sitting here doing this. And I've made, I don't know, I've made several. I had one lady messaging me. She wanted some glass buttons and some mother of pearl, I don't know, some things. So she ordered a t-shirt and I don't know what all. So I stopped to do her order. Oh, look at this fringe. Cool. Let's do that. See if I can unwrap it a little bit. That's a cool piece. Okay. But yeah, Michelle, I'm sure she does it a little bit differently, but this is the gist of it. And it's worked fine. Ooh, look at this. It's worked fine for me. Let's see. Hopefully that knot won't break my needle. Let's see. Nope. Okay. And then I'll cut the end of that off. I'll show you what I mean. That's kind of a cheater. I figured this out after I did a couple. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might have messed up with that. Let's see. That thick piece didn't, my sewing machine didn't like that thick piece. Okay. Well, I'm at the end anywho. Let's see here. Let's see. There. I just need to move. There, I got it. Okay. So, let me see here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. None of you sewers cringe, okay? We're going to go back in. We're going to keep going. I mean, I'm almost there. I give it up, right? But, you know. Might as well finish what you start. Okay. So back in, here's this little piece of something I can shove in here. Okay. I need to come as forward as I can without hitting that thick thing again. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. And there we go. So then you just push down on that button and it takes it back and then it goes forward so that it keeps it from coming undone. It's kind of like tying a knot. And then you pull it out so when you cut it, it doesn't spring back and you lose all of your stuff. And here is my snippet roll. So this part is all good and ready. And then this part I need to cut. So it's however, let's see, where are you? So however you want to do it, I would just, you know, make room here and lay this out. And then I can just take my scissors right along here and whack a doodle. Whack, whack, whack. Right like that. Right like that. Whoops, I missed one. Got one. I got one, two. I missed two. Okay. So there you go. All right. So now let's move this all out of the way. Now, I feel like, Michelle, I feel like yours are much thicker. Yeah, I think it is easier to cut it after. And mine are so liney, stripy. See that? And I feel like Michelle's is a little more haphazard. But anyway, once you start adding buttons, or let's say this is a little boring space, you can always come in later with something, whatever, and add it in with glue. You see that? Or you could hand stitch, of course, but you know, who does that? Not me. Here, this could be doubled over and cut and twist and then stick it down. Let's just do it. So, okay, let's add a little fluff maybe to this. So I'm going to put some hot glue down. I'm going to put this on here, just on this plain old little piece of whatever it is. And then let's put a button on it. Now, but I want to show you, because when you start adding all of your buttons and things, that's when it really starts getting interesting, right? And I have learned, though, I told you in the last video, the first few that I did, I added buttons and all the hardware to this, and then tried, when I was rolling it up, it was a little bit more chunky. It took up more room in my cabinet. And then when I went to use it, every time it would be like, okay, here's how big my thing is, like right here, and I need to cut that button. So I cut right beside of it and try to skinny it up to get that button in there. You know what I mean? So I quit adding buttons and things so that, number one, it will roll tighter. And then once you get it down on your project, if you're like, this spot's kind of boring, you can add a little, like I just did with hot glue, you could add a little something there and a button. You know what I mean? You can, and it's kind of, you're more in the mood, because when you're sitting here doing this, it's kind of, it's not grueling, but it's like a lot, and you just want to get it done. You want rid of that pile of stuff, and it takes some time. So that's how I've done it, is you could also place the lace in a vertical direction. Yeah. I did on another one. I put one underneath and did, but yeah, because it's a little bit that way. But once you add a little gather of something and maybe lay it that way, just one little thing is all you need to break up a whole situation. Like, okay, so again, we've got all of these stripes. So then you would just cut a piece, and then you can lay it in, and see how that little bit just changes the whole, see what I mean? So then you can just fix it as needed as you're working with it on your project, because then you know what it needs. Or if you need to add a little bit of black, a black button, or rusty things, or whatever your project calls for. I've put this stuff on bottles, on books, I'm getting ready to do a bag tomorrow with you guys. We're going to put it on a bag. See, like here, I missed it. Oh, I didn't miss a spot. It just didn't sew down. Everything else. Oh, it's around. It's where I messed up. Okay, let's just glue it down. So, and it's so busy. No one's ever going to spot this little dab of glue. So it's fine. No one will ever, don't tell anybody. Nobody will ever know. In that whole mess, which one did I glue? Like, right? You can't tell. So anyway, then I just roll it up like this, and I call it a snippet roll. And there you go. Now you can make these out of paper. You can glue them. If you're like, I don't want to go buy a sewing machine, but I really want to do this. It's a good project to make. Yes, I make it ahead of time and just slap your scraps. Yes, I probably thought too much, right? Did I think too much? Michelle. Oh yeah, you'll have to watch the replay. I just finished, and I'm not going to stay on and make any more. I think I made 6 or 7 of them. So, anyway, you could make little tiny ones, like I said, when you get all done, or if you need a little bit longer, you could put 2 together. You'll never tell where you started and stopped. Never, never, never. So anyway, I've been working on snippet rolls. Somebody just messaged me. Let me see something about snippet rolls. I've been working on. Oh no, she just liked what I wrote. Okay, I text everybody that was going live. So I'm trying to stay over here away from my Band-Aid. That's one good thing about working this way. You could make them into cuffs. Yes, you could put them on, you mean like on coats? Put them on a coat, like a denim coat. You could do them around the collar. You could do it around a picture on the back. So I've done so many things with them already. It's unreal. So anyway, you guys, that is what a snippet roll is. And you can see the vintage Daisy. She's right there. You should go give her a father. Oh, like a chunky bracelet. Go give her a father. Go give her a follow. Oh, how do you close it, Michelle? That would be really cute. How would you okay, I gotcha. I have a couple kind of like that, actually. There's my pearls. They did really well. They stuck in there. So just those tiny little ones. How do you close it? I mean, you wouldn't hot glue it on your arm and then take it off at night. That's how I I'd do it. I'd hot glue it on, and then when I get home, I'd rip it off and then put it on a book. You're going to wrap it around a paper mache cone. Yes, I did that with a spool, with an old spool. That was my very first project I made with my very first snippet rolls. Was I had a freestanding spool my friend Sherry gave me, a real tall one, and I wrapped it, and it looks beautiful. So, so many things you guys can do with them. Elastic, a button and a loop. Yeah, well, I don't know how to do that. So I'll mail it to you and you can make me one. Well, that's advanced, buttons and loops. The paper paper snippets I sew as well, but you can totally hot glue them. Let me just get out. We'll talk snippets again. I know we've talked snippets, but we'll talk them again. Okay, we'll talk about them again. So this is my snippet box. Yeah, I sewed them. Okay, so here's my sewing line, and I did a zigzag on this one. Don't look too close. And then I just added pieces of paper. And my one thing is, this one I learned from Michelle to make my papers go every which way, because sometimes you want sometimes you're going to go around this way, and sometimes you're going to go around this way. And so when I made my first few of them, I made some of them that I could do vertically. See how they're all in the right direction? And this was like one of the first ones, so I embellished it with buttons and stuff, which I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just doing my papers. Okay, and then I made another one. Oh, I guess this is an up and downy too. I made another one up and down. I must have used all my left to right ones. And then I messaged Michelle because I'm like, oh my gosh, we made all of them, like we laid them down. We laid down our little piece of paper, and then we glued, Julie and I were making them, and we glued them all where we could read them. And so then when I needed it to go this way, I'm like, oh crap. So then we had to make some that went this way. So then I messaged her. I'm like, what the heck? And she said, just lay them down. Don't pay any attention. And so I did. And now they're non-directional. So that was great advice. So now I do upside down, right side up, every which way, and it doesn't matter. So let's see, did I sew this one? No, this one's glued. See, I didn't even know. I had to look at the back to see. So this is all glued down, but the glue is a little bit stiffer feeling. The sewing is a little bit, I kind of like that detail. So, but you can't even tell. So it doesn't matter. So anyway, but that is one thing with the paper. You want to be able to read it whichever way. Yeah, I like sewing it too. I think sewing is better. But gluing worked just fine. So you guys, I was happy that I could glue. Okay, so these are my very first, I'm not a pro with this. This is the second time to make the sewing ones, and I've only done the paper ones once. Then I messed around. Oops, I dropped a itty bitty. And then I messed around with doing colors from a quilt. Yes, I did. And I sewed it as well. Okay, and then I pulled out a bunch of colorful buttons that I have color. I tell you guys, keep a bag of colors. But I did sew all of that, and I used old velvet. This is all velvet quilts. And then this one is not velvet. This one's just patches of quilts for colors. And I found that when I first started making them, they were wider. Like this paper is wide. And I've learned that I really like the skinnies better. I like this little tiny better. So I cut my, these in half. These were like wider, maybe not half, but they're smaller, skinnier. And I like the skinnier better for me. So, Michelle, when we're all done, you'll have to message me and tell me what I did wrong. Yep, you could make a belt. Absolutely. So that is, tell me what I can do to make them better. And then we tried the plaster on one of them. Tried to plaster one of the snippet rolls. So that's what that, I was just messing around. So that's kind of a cool look. And then, okay, you guys hear me talk about itty bitties, and let me find, where's my collage? Here's my collages. So then I started a roll of adding machine tape, and I've used them all but 2, right? Yeah, I've only got 2 left, so I need to do some more of these too. So this was an adding machine tape. I did nothing wrong. Oh, okay, because they're a little stripy. Okay, well, good. I just break up the stripes later, but I wondered if you did something different. Okay. Anyway, so I made these little collection ones, and I've used all of the other ones, but I tried putting them on a whole roll of adding machine tape and was just going to roll them up. But because I made them so heavy and stuff, I ended up having to rip in between the adding machine tapes, and then I'll just pull this off, you know, whatever. But I kind of did that to store them. And it worked fine, but as a backer. But anyway, so those we called little collage, paper collage. And then these are my itty bitties, which are my absolute favorite. And I kind of made this up. So at least, I mean, if everybody else is doing them, I don't know about it. And I love these little things. So I called them itty bitties. And all of this stuff was our month in the group. And so they're all a little bit different. Some are sewed. Looks like most of these are sewn. Here's a glued one. Yeah, some are sewed and some are glued. And I loved the itty bitties, and all I did, well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to join the group. How about that? So anyway, I love the itty bitties. I use them all the time like a button. You know, I add buttons and I add keys and all of that stuff. I really like adding the itty bitties as well. And they were just individual. Let's see, I made some more. Wait a minute. I made one more kind. These are the front only. And then I made some hanging ones. Are they not in here anymore? Oh, here they are. Nope, here they are. And then I made some that are double-sided. So like 2 sides. So they would be hang tags. These are all double-sided. They're different sizes, and I didn't punch them all, but they're double-sided so that they could hang if we wanted to hang them, was my thinking. So anyway, there you go. So I've got front and back itty bitties. I've got itty bitties, and then I've got my collage, and then I have my paper tape, my paper snippet rolls. I have my fabric snippet rolls, and then and my quilt snippet rolls, and then I have my my fabric snippet rolls where we literally made fabric in the group as well. And then I also did it like this, and that's a big secret in the group, how to do it, to hold it all together. So it's very, very cool. So anyway, see, I became a pro. Even though I've only made all this stuff one time. It only takes one time, and then you figure out all the little things, and then like, okay, next time I got it. So anyway, that's all. I just had so many questions about snippet rolls and stuff. So like I said, I learned from Michelle at the Vintage Daisy, and I called her tonight to ask her if I could share with you guys all how to do this, because so many people have been asking, and so give Michelle a follow. She's the one that took it. She's the one that, you know, started it all. She started all this nonsense. So, but I could not love them more. I use them all the time. So now when I say a snippet roll, you know exactly what they are. Yes, she loves using them in her journals. Michelle does a ton of journals. So if you guys are journal people, Michelle is your girl. So she's in the friendship journal, traveling friendship journal, whatever it's called, coming up on the 19th that I just posted about today. I posted the other day too, but we put the times in there today. So she's one of the girls going to be kicking it off. So that's kind of cool. So you'll all get to meet her there. I think the group is called the Crafty Bunch, I believe. So, okay, you guys, that's all I got. So I just store them here in my little snippet box, and, there you go. So thanks for watching. If you all make some, send me a picture. I'd love to see, or post it here or whatever. Save it for Fridays. I do a thing on Fridays where you can share what you've made, lay them out and let me see. So thanks for watching. I'm going to clean this mess up. I might whip out one more. I still got a whole pile. You should see I still have like a whole pile. I maybe will make 2 more. I don't know how late it's getting, but I'll quit at 11. Oh, it's 9:30. I'll make a couple more. Okay, but not with you guys. I'll do it on my own. I'll see you later. Too much pressure. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Thanks, Michelle. Bye.